Hey, yo, peace. Now, in this video, I'm going to roll the clip, right? And Shorty is talking about some, black women aren't being desired. Black women aren't being desired. Oh, I never felt so, alone. Yo, that's because black men aren't checking for you guys no more. Black men now understand what's going on. Shout out to black men, man. Black men finally understand what's going on and see the sooner the better, but it's better late than never, right? Let me roll the clip.
So I need to talk to y'all about something. I recently went to an event and there were about 1,000 people there. And of the couples that were there, about 95% of them were black men with non-black women.
Now, you heard what she just said. The event she attended, 95%, as she says, black men were with non-black women. Why do you think that is? Why do you think black men are not with black women? Last time I checked growing up, black men have always been pro-black. And again, black men are now understanding what is going on. Black women never liked you. Black women never been on your side. When black women say they love black men, they're speaking about Pookie. They're speaking about Ray Rizzle. They're speaking about Jay Fizzle. I'm going to keep bringing him up. Paper Route Empire, Young Dolph. Jay Fizzle has 15, I think maybe 16 baby mothers. Come on, son. So if black women are willing to give one man 16 babies by 16 different women, why will black men continue to stay in an arena, continue to stay in a place, continue to stay in a bad situation? Last time I checked, anybody who understands on an infinite level, who understands on a magnetic level that they're in a bad situation, they're going to do what they have to do in order to change that bad situation, in order to change their plight. Come on.
The person leading the event was a black man that was married to a white woman. I'd be lying if I said that seeing all of this at the same time was not triggering.
Of course it's triggering for you. Of course it's triggering for you because you realize, damn, nobody's checking for me. Because you finally see how it feels to be a black man. See, we're going to keep talking about this, right? 19%, let's round it up, 20. 20% of black men, which is pretty much the Jay Fizzles. The Jay Fizzles, the Ray Rizzles, the Pookies, get 75. Let's, again, go ahead and round it up. That's the number that's accounted for. That's the number that's accounted for. It's probably 80%. Let's round it up. 20% of black men get 80% of black women pregnant. Come, bro, if you live in a black city, you know what I'm talking about. You went to high school with them dudes. Listen, if you went to college, you seen these dudes coming on your campus with a book bag. He didn't even attend the fucking school. He had no classes up there. He came up there with a book bag, talking some crap. And now the shorty's running off the campus with him, getting picked up, man. Come on.
This is pretty much what the dating scene looks like overall in LA.
Now, she said LA, but the reality is the entire West Coast is like that. Seattle, Nevada, Arizona, San Francisco, LA, San Diego. On the West Coast, black men, you have options. Let me repeat that. On the West Coast, black men, you have options. So black men, what you need to do, change your plight. If you have to work 3 jobs, do what you have to do and make it to the West Coast. Because what she just said confirms how most black men feel. I mean, you got some black guys who feel like, yo, That one kid, if you guys seen that video, man, that one kid talking about the football players dating white girls and stuff like that, man, he said, man, I don't care if I gotta wait 10, 15 years to get a black woman. Stupid ass. That dude probably in his early 20s talking about I'm gonna wait 10, 15 years to get a black woman. Do you hear how foolish that sounds? Bro, something as simple as dating. Again, let me not get religious, but man, did the maker not make man and woman? So why is it that women only going for 20% of men? So you're telling me 80% of men got to be starved out? 80% of men got to live this existence, not even knowing what some buns feel like, not even knowing what some a decent relationship feel like? And come on, let's go.
There are 4 other observations that I picked up on since moving to LA. 1, it's not equal. It's not like I'm seeing a bunch of black women dating outside their race.
That's because you can't. That's because you can't. Even if you go back to East Coast cities, down South cities, Midwestern cities, man. Okay, look, check it, right? The other day, no. I'm sorry. A week ago, I was driving in the city I'm living in, right? I saw a white man with a black woman. And let me describe this white man. The white man and the black woman were the same height. She had to be no more than like 5'5". The white man was like 5. Okay, I said like 5'7". I mean, I can't tell you he earned 6 figures, but the reality is most men in America do not earn 6 figures. The average earning white man is about 50,000. The average earning black man is about 45 to about 47,000. So a few more thousand. The white man, he wasn't covered in tattoos. He wasn't wearing Amiri pants, Balenciaga shoes. He was actually wearing Skechers with some shorts. I mean, again, I don't know what the man drive because they was walking, but I can guarantee you he's not driving around in a Scat Pack. He's not driving around in a red-eye Hellcat. Come on.
In fact, I'm barely seeing black women dating at all.
Again, they're not checking for you. At what percent? Listen, even for you people that live in certain cities like Chicago, Houston, New York, LA, you know what I'm saying? El Paso, Dallas, any city that's a refugee city, any city that has a high population of other ethnic groups, when you see black women dating in those cities, I can guarantee you she's not dating a large portion of Asian men, a large portion of Hispanic men, a large portion of white men. They're not doing that because those group of men are not checking for black women. They are, listen, it's already a stereotype around the black race as it is. And the image that black women have compared to black men, they're below us. So why would a man of another ethnic group go and pick the worst option? And when you do see guys pick the worst option, the bottom of the barrel, it's just for a pound town. These dudes are just taking female on that tour. That's it. Come on.
2, it's gotten so bad that at this point, whenever I do see a black man that's single, the first thing that I'm asking myself is, I wonder if he dates black women.
The reality is, right? Black men would love to date black women. The reality is black women aren't looking for black men. Again, she's on the West Coast where, listen, it doesn't matter if you're coming from New York, you're coming from Atlanta, Miami, Houston. The reality is when you go to California or any West Coast city, the hot spot on the West Coast is LA. What's known in LA? Hollywood. What's known in Hollywood as far as when it comes to women? Attractive women. You don't see no fat. I'm about to curse. You don't see no fat women on Hollywood TV screens. And if you do, trust me, she's not getting no publicity. She's not no big name. You know what I'm saying? You don't see attractive women. I'm sorry. You don't see big unattractive women. You don't see females wearing colored contacts. You don't see females wearing weave. You don't see females wearing all of these just atrocious stuff, man. That's because on the West Coast, the beauty standard is different. If you were a quote unquote 9 in your city, when you go to LA, when you go to the West Coast, listen, you drop down to a 5, a 4 at best. I know Kevin Samuel said 7 at best. I'm sorry. Kevin Samuel said you average at best. Yo, average is like 5, bro. Most of you joints realize, yo, I'm not as attractive as my competition. Now, when you put black women against other black women, that's the difference. When you put black women against other ethnic group of women, other races of women, come on now.
Women. 3, within the past couple months, I've had conversations with multiple Black women that actually want to leave LA. Not because of the economy, not because they aren't flourishing in their careers, but simply because they feel like there's no love for them in LA.
Because black men aren't checking for you. Other ethnic groups of men, other races of men are not checking for you. That's why. And see, let me say this, right? That's why I realize it's a trend right now. It's something going on right now. See, I realize people are being quote unquote pushed out of their cities, but it's not really that. Like she just said, it's not because black women aren't doing good in their careers. I have met plenty of black women doing good in their careers, right? But the reality is black women are moving for whatever city she live in, up north, down south, on the West Coast, Midwest. They're moving to the South. Specifically, they're moving to places like Atlanta. They're moving to places like North Carolina, Alabama, Houston. But even in Houston, once they go out there, they'll see the reality. But that's why a place like Atlanta, that's why they're moving there. That's why I'm telling black men, if you live in Atlanta, you need to get the fuck out. That is ratchet central, bonnet central, baby mother central. You need to get out of there, bro. But see, the reason why they're moving to the South is because in those cities, right? Again, places like New York, places like Chicago, LA, San Francisco, San Diego, the West Coast as a whole, Houston, El Paso, Dallas. The reason why they're moving there, even those places have good economical potential, good career potential, black women can't find love because the black men in those cities choose to date other races of women. Why? Because 80% of black women are not checking for the 80% of black men. Isn't that crazy? 20% of thug niggas in the black community get 80% of women pregnant. So that means the other 80% of men, they're not even looking at them guys. And I have a video on my channel, right? I have a video on my channel of black women saying on Twitter, they're not checking for regular, productive, 9-to-5 black men, blue collar black men, even white collar black men, college educated black men. They're not checking for those guys until after 30, really 35 plus, when that man has resources, stability, assets. He has a home, 2 to 3 vehicles, a nice stock portfolio. That's when they're checking for those guys, because he's now somebody to use. Because at that point, the thugs, they're not checking for them no more. The thugs looking for younger joints. If she can date a white man, if she can date a Latino man, she better cross her fingers she can date an Asian man. They're definitely not checking for black women. And if they are, it's just for a little quick fun. You know what I'm saying? A quick little smash and that's it. Those females get with those guys. They don't have to be 6 feet tall. They don't have to have a face tattoo with dreadlocks. They don't gotta have a bust down, a Moncleese, a Mary Pants, Balenciaga runners with the Louis Vuitton belt. All that superficial bullshit that they ask for. Listen, when you were a man of another race, black women not asking you for that stuff. Who again? Come on.
LA, the fact that I know so many beautiful, talented, compassionate, evolved Black women that are all feeling the same way makes no sense to me. And
it makes perfect sense to me because I understand what's going on. It makes perfect sense to me. That's why I'm telling guys, yo, if that was your reality living in your city, man, because I'm like, yo, bro, I even know older black men personally, right, who told me, yo, bro, if you wasn't hitting, listen, back in the 80s and the 90s, if you wasn't hitting that Ave, looking like Run DMC, you didn't look like Nas, you didn't look like DMX, you didn't look like Jay-Z, man, you wasn't getting nothing from black women. If anything, I bet you it was actually harder to get black women in the 90s and 80s just because that's when the drug game was at its biggest. So the black men who were in the drug game probably had the most action with black women. If you was a college educated brother, if you wasn't light skinned, trust me, you wasn't getting nothing. But see, me making this video, right, I'm 25. One thing I have realized about a lot of black men, older black men, right, guys in their late 40s, 50s, 60s, they always tell me something. They be like, yo, bro, I know you a good dude. AKA, you fit into the 80% of black men that black women aren't checking for. Bro, go outside the race. Go outside. Listen, this is the words of other black men, older black men, telling me, yo, go and get you a Caucasian. Go and get you a Latina. Go and get you an Asian. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad now it's making sense, and I'm glad I'm seeing this video. That's why I'm telling guys, you have to get out the South. If you live in the South, get out of the South because you will not have nothing. If you want kids, if you want a relationship, if you want a family, shit, man, if you just want to play the field, get out of the South. Why should you have to wait until 30 to just now start getting a copious amount of pussy? Something that is so fucking easy to get. You can't even get it because these bitches are looking for. These joints want money. That's all they want. Again, when she goes and get with the Caucasian man, she's not bringing up money. If anything, he's bringing up money, and she has to spend that money. That's why black women, again, it's a large influx of black women moving down south, moving from the same cities where they have the most competition. Again, black women competing against black women, they don't feel the pressure from that. When she's competing against the Hispanic woman, because that's actually black women's biggest competition is the Hispanic woman. They think it's the white woman. No, it's not her. It's really the Hispanic woman. That's why they're leaving those cities. That's why they're moving down south. Again, get out of the South, black man.
And lastly, when you don't see yourself reflected in a space, you feel like you don't exist.
Yes, you're right. That's why black men are moving to the West Coast. She said that the event she attended was 95% black men who were not in a relationship with black women. So think about it. At least 35 to 40% of black men there are black men that migrated to the West Coast, either from the Midwest, from the East Coast, or from the South. Because they realize in my environment, I can't have anything. In my environment, black women aren't checking for me. In my environment, black women only want me to have money. Bro, I have met shorties in the first fucking conversation. Do you give girls money? And listen, that's stuff like that be coming from older joints. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Come on, son. Then you go talk to the younger joint. The younger joint's wearing all this fucking weave. They wearing colored contacts. Come on, bro. They be stink. Hey, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
As a black woman myself, I can tell you honestly, when it comes to the romantic space, I have never felt more invisible than I do living in LA.
Well, there you go. That's the reality of living like a black man. Most black men are invisible. Trust me, if you're under 6 feet tall, you know what I'm talking about. I have females who are black women who are 5'1". I can give her a noogie. I can see the part in the middle of her fucking head, telling me, "Oh, I'm too short." Shorty, I'm looking on top of your dome piece. And it's crazy because if she gets an opportunity to date outside of her race, she doesn't have anywhere near the same requirements for those men. But for you black men, you gotta be the complete package. You have to be the peak of the epitome, the cream of the crop. Yo, again, if you live in the South, black man, get up out the South. If you on the East Coast, get up out the East Coast. If you in the Midwest, get up out the Midwest. She's telling you the reality. Black men are winning. Black men are winning. Black men are living their best life on that West Coast. And all of them are running down south for Section 8, running down south for down low men, running down south for a sucker to take care of her. Actually, most men in the South don't make no money, for real, for real. I mean, you got some that do, but these joints, they going for Pookies and Ray Rizzles anyway. So most guys, the Ray Rizzles, the Pookies down south, they don't make no money. She's going to be taking care of a man, and probably a down low man at that.